Hi, it's Malcolm from Aquaspray. Today I've got another video. I'm going to be taking the piston housing off with pistons and springs and bearings and wobble plates, see if there is any damage in there. Up to now I've not seen anything, and it's not going to cost anything either. What I will do as a bit of a bonus, I'm going to try two different chemicals to see which one will work best on the cleaning the pump up. So stay tuned to the end of the video and see which one I'm going to be choosing to clean the rest of the brass up. So the first thing I'm going to do is see which chemical cleans this brass up better. So my plan is, if I drop it into a jar, I'm going to put one with our normal TFR in there. I'm just going to put it halfway as well. So this jar is the TFR. I'm just going to put it halfway. I'll stick it on that shelf until later on. And then the next one I'm going to put in there, and I'm going to use Sillet Bang. If I can take this top off, I'm not sure whether I'll be able to, so I'm pretty much going to know that that's Sillet Bang, but if I can spell it right. Might be just a bit more than that. I'll do the same sort of amount when the bubbles come back. So then we'll just see at the end of the video which one is going to clean it a little bit better. I might stir it every now and again and just see what's what. And which one's going to be the best, whether it's our TFR or Sillet Bang. I'm sort of hoping our TFR, because it's not going to cost me anything, whereas Sillet Bang, I'm going to take it from under the sink. The wife's going to get mental. Okay, let's get this sorted. We'll take this plate off, drop the oil, remove all these caps, and see if there's anything wrong with the piston housing. Okay, so I need to drain the oil. I was looking at this before, and just by rubbing it with a little bit of wire wool, just brought it up quite nice. Even though it does look nice, quite matte black, but we won't keep it that way. So let's get rid of this oil and see what's inside the pump. Looks really clean in there, but this, if it'll focus, the top is just melted. So let's get the oil drained out. Oh, why is everything so tight? It's really tight. I haven't had one that tight for a while now. And yes, I was going the right way. Just in case you're asking. But yeah, it shouldn't be that tight. It's alright, it not coming off when you're using it, but it's a little bit too tight. So look what the oil looks like. Because it's probably evaporated all the oil. It's probably evaporated all the water. So the oil's gonna should be pretty spotless, really. That's all that. It's a bit gloopy at the bottom end. A bit dirty, but it's sort of cleaning up as it's going up, so as it's coming out. Although to be fair, there's not a lot of oil, so maybe it's evaporated most of the oil or it's leaked out. I did notice there was it felt very greasy around the oil glass, the sight glass. So it doesn't look like the machines really had a service at some point, but then it looked pretty new. So chances are, yeah, there's not a lot of oil in that whatsoever, but I don't know whether there will be a problem with the oil seals or not yet, depending on what they look like. I've got to be honest, I don't think there'll be anything wrong too much. Actual oil glass is completely distorted. I think there's probably a little bit of a hole there, the way it looks. So that's where it's leaked oil out, I would imagine. So, get my trusty Allen key. Let's take the pump, all this cylinder head off. And if you're ever taking this housing off, remember you've got spring tension, quite heavy springs behind each one of these pistons. So if it's really loose like that, just move on to the next one until that goes really loose. And move on to the next one until that one goes loose. And then just work it all the way around. That's probably the most efficient way of taking this off. And as long as you've got it off straight, you won't damage the O-ring in the back end. Or the housing. And eventually they'll get looser and looser and looser. Push that back a little bit. Oh, it's dripping on my palette. And so you can pretty much take them off once the O-ring's clear and they feel loose enough. Just unscrew them from there. So the first look behind there, and it's pretty much like new. Yeah, it's really nice. So I don't think there's any issues with the seals. I think more it's leaked out of where the oil jar is and evaporation. The oil is a little bit murky, a little bit gloopy, almost like mud in the bottom end, but then it's really had a lot to deal with the fire and things like that. Sometimes to get this wobble plate off, you can just get long nose pliers and pull it off. And then what you must do is make sure that you take the keyway out before you do anything else. Because if you try and start the motor, if this was a good machine and you tried to start the motor with that keyway in, when it fired up it'll fling it out and you'll probably never see it again. Or if you did, if you were looking at it, you'd probably never see again if it comes out at you. So now that's pretty much safe. Spinning the motor is nice and free. The bearings feel really good. So all that is good. I will just move all the cameras out. We'll just clean the pistons up, make sure there's nothing untoward in there. Give you a bit of a closer look. And then that is going to be it for this video. So let me just move all this out the way. So here's a closer look at the pistons and springs and things like that. And I have to say that it looks like any other service. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this. Nothing wrong at all. Apart from just cleaning it up and cleaning the outside of it where it's dirty, this is going to be just like almost a simple service. I think only time will tell when we start looking at the electric box. But yeah, each spring Pistons look good. There's a little score in there, but it's not really where the seal is, so I'm happy with that. We're obviously going to have to replace the cap. Let's use something different to that, but yeah, the cap is melted. Don't need to replace it really. I suppose it would still seal on that O-ring, but it just doesn't look nice. That would definitely need replacing because there is a hole in there, if you can see down the back end. I don't know whether it'll focus enough, but that looks like a hole coming out of here. So that definitely needs replacing, as well as you can't see the oil, so I would always recommend to replace it if it goes sort of opaque like this colour here. Apart from that, the bearings, the bearing race there is perfect, no wear and tear on it. The ball bearings look like there's no wear and tear on them. They look good. The actual running plate has got next to no wear and tear on it. Both sides looks really good. The wobble plate just looks like any other service. I like the way where Kranzle make these, they stamp everything with their name, so you just know it's quality, and usually like a part number as well, so it's dead easy for us as engineers and people who work on the machines. You can find out what you need really quickly. The housing plate, again, there's absolutely nothing untoward. You can actually see these shims that get pushed into there where the piston runs in. If you ever want to know whether these are worn at any point, there's a hell of a lot of play, but when you put it in, if there's next to no play in it, which there isn't, then you pretty much know you're good to go. You can replace these as well, but I've never done that myself. And the oil seal in the back end just looks like somebody's just put it in yesterday. So I have no issues with this. It's literally, it's like somebody's got a new machine and they've decided to just put it in a fire. A little bit of crud there, but you do find that every now and again. It's like dried grease, that'll be, more than anything else. I'm not sure. I think that's where I've lifted it out, because I don't think it was there. But if I took this off and I saw that type of oil in the back end or in front of this seal, then I would start to think I'd need to replace that seal. But as you can see, it's in the actual chamber here, so I think the seals are alright as well. So that's pretty much good. Just needs a good clean up and we're good to go. And these, like I say, look at them. They're like you've just got them off the shelf, really, apart from just a little bit of dirt on them. Spotless. Amazing. Just don't lose the keyway. So thanks for staying to the end of the video. I just want to check which one is doing the better one, whether it's the TFR or whether it's the Sillet Bang. So I'm just going to pour this out. Just grab that one. This is the TFR. And I have to say, I think I'm going to go down the TFR route the way it looks at the moment. But maybe it's too early to say. So bearing in mind it was only halfway full. It's looking pretty clean, that is. Right, let's have a look at the Sillet Bang one. Yeah. So it's not even touched it. So that's seal it bang. So it's looking like the TFR, which is good. I'm actually quite surprised at that, really. But then it might be the wrong seal it bang. I don't know. Yeah, without a doubt, TFR.